Well, my name is Camilo Caliz. Great to be here among this selected group of journalists in Mobile World Congress. Very much appreciated for your time. I will try to give you, within the 5 or so minutes, an idea of what is the evolution of communication services. But what I would like you to go from here is with an idea of why we in Ericsson believe there is a future for voice over LTE. Communication services is changing. It's changing. But it is not changing only because of the progress of technology. It's changing because of the attitude change of the people towards technology. The adoption of technology by regular people is amazing. It's totally amazing. Did you actually know that 80% of the companies in the US use LinkedIn to evaluate the potential new employees for a position? It means that if you don't have a LinkedIn account in the US, you will be losing about 80% of the possibility to get a new job. You know that the University of Boston 2 or 3 years ago stopped distributing emails among the students. Now the students use Facebook. We have now a new verb. People Facebook each other. On top of this, the great adoption of services by everyone, we have these fantastic smartphones. The processor capacity of these devices are actually stronger than the strongest processor used by NASA 1969 when sending the first man to the moon. So this is changing totally the landscape of communications. This is history. This is history. Actually, when we talk about all the players that are showing up, we are not only talking about Skype, we are talking about Viber, we are talking about WhatsApp. We have now companies that, without having very clearly what is the business case, they are taking a position and it's actually challenging our operators. Operators like AT&T, operators like Telefonica, operators like Telecom Italia. Everyone is being challenged by this kind of new players. Do you know how much did Facebook pay for WhatsApp for about 1 week or so?
Yeah. 19 billion.
15 billion dollars. And do you know how much did Microsoft pay for Skype? $8.5 billion. So we have two major acquisitions, multi-millionaire acquisitions, in less than 10 years. Why? Why? Why are these companies paying so much? Actually, what Zuckerberg said last week in Barcelona is that the company that actually managed to connect 1 billion people, I would pay that and much more, and I have already done that. When Skype actually announced the acquisition, announced the acquisition of Skype, they actually said, when Tony Bates and Steve Ballmer were presenting this, they said, the potential of this business is huge. Information, communication, and entertainment. So we are in front of a revolutionary change, a change of everything. And we in Ericsson, we believe in this concept of this network society. It actually took for the world to be connected 1 billion places in 100 years, and it took only 25 years to connect 5 billion people. Some time ago, we started with the message: everything that can be connected will be connected. Everything that benefits from a connection will have one, and that is happening, my friends. We will actually have in 2020 about 50 billion connections. Everything that benefits from a connection will have one, and that's already taking place. It's changing the society, it's changing the way in which we do business, but it changed also the way in which we communicate, and that's the message that we'd like to try to convey. Operators need to do something about that, because operators are actually losing money. It is expected actually that operators will lose about 50 billion US dollars in 2015 or 16. Do operators need to do something about that? Well, I think so. And actually, this is the evidence of something very interesting. We in Ericsson have something called Consumer Lab. The Consumer Lab is an organization that actually works asking people what they think about a certain subject. In this case, we took the sample of 2050, an operation of 2050 million subscribers. We took sample with the users between 20 and 39 years old, between 2008 and 2013. What is your weekly usage of this kind of services? What do you see over there? Mobile calls, SMS, mobile internet, email, social networking, MMS, instant messaging, video telephony, VoIP calls. So what we are seeing here is pretty much the following. The challenge is not about creating demand. It's about attaching effective business models, but also being successful in context-based communication. What is context-based communication? To you, what is that? To me, it's actually the possibility to be communicated, to communicate with anyone, with any company or whatever, based on my context. If I am traveling, if I am at the airport in Barcelona and I have a problem with my ticket, I wouldn't like to need to call my secretary, please fix the flight because I need to change the direction or whatever. When I call, everyone should know who I am, what I need, and why. Because I have already everything set in a system in order for the communication to happen based on my context. This is pretty much what is happening today. If you look at anyone's mobile, you will see that the communication is happening as islands. You have a lot of players, and when you look at a phone, you will see apps of all kinds. So this is what we call community islands, and all those are working in best effort. What does it mean? Best effort means that the quality of the service is not in the hands of these companies, it's in the hands of the operators. And what else? Battery consumer. So I would like to make you, to ask you this question. What opportunity does Volte represent for operators in this new competitive landscape? Well, everyone knows that LTE is being rolled out everywhere, so connectivity is massive. But what comes after? After we have the possibility to also offer voice. Why? Because there will be an IPification of the networks end to end. It means at the end that a lot of more services will be able to be combined with voice. And that's the fantastic tool that operators will have to recover the power that's being taken from them by the so-called over-the-tops, all the companies that I showed in the beginning. This is extremely important, and this is the major takeaway. What we foresee is that IMS as the core for voice over LTE is really an investment that will make much more sense in the near future. Why? Because what we are seeing is that there will be a convergence. The convergence is the possibility to offer a user the possibility to communicate based on the context, no matter if he's at home, in front of a TV, outside with a mobile phone, or in a train with a tablet. That's what is the beauty of the convergence, and that's being allowed by the core that will provide the possibility to offer voice over LTE. Why? Because you will have an amplification of the whole network, end to end. But the most important, and very rapidly, is the fact that you will have simplicity. You will have voice, but you will have also services of all kinds and everything connected through the operator with quality of service. So, just to summarize, our opinion actually is that Volte will happen because the need of improving efficiency by the operators. And in this case, we foresee some operators forced to do something because the spectrum is getting too crowded. And Volte actually will allow them to release some of the spectrum being used in 2G, 3G, and at the same time, increase the efficiency, provide actually 6 times more calls, or actually the same, 6 times more than 3G, and 6 times as 2G. Also, quality of service, and that's getting back to what I mentioned in the beginning. These players cannot offer quality of service in their offering because the network is still property of the operator. And that's the major asset that we believe operators have. And that is why, if they invest in Volte, they will have all possibilities. And then, and last but not least, I think that it's important to recognize that telecommunications industry is something that is really much into the focus of everyone. It's everywhere. And thanks to this cooperation, the possibility to offer interoperable service across terminals, across networks, is extremely important. Well, this was a very quick overview of where communication services is evolving. And just as a way to summarize, communication is changing very rapidly. The adoption is massive. There is money in this kind of services. Multi-millionaire acquisitions by Microsoft, by Facebook. We have also seen the value of convergence in all these contexts. We see that operators have in their assets quality and quality of service, and that's important. We see also that after the LTE rollout, we will see voice and amplification of the network end-to-end. And we will see operators really taking a serious look to why implementing Volte, because they are losing money. And revenue, if you didn't know that, it still represents about 62 to 70% of the total revenues of the operator. Is it Volte necessary or not? Thank you very much.
All right. We're not going to take time. Make it simple if you can.